Hey guys, so I made this simple program the other day. I found this package called Bytessera, which is a wrapper for Google's Tessera engine. So I installed it using pip so I can use it on Python. Then downloaded the actual engine and installed it. I experimented with it, and it seems that the higher the quality of the image, the higher the accuracy of the output. This is the file. Let's run the command line here. You can give it one image and it will output the text from the image. You can see here, that's the content of the image, which is this file 1804896. And if you want to compare two images, you can also specify them here. It says 1804248 is not in computational science. It means the ID is in this image, but it's not in here. At the bottom, it says all students in computational science also belong to BSAS 3B. Okay, now that I remembered, you can see this loop here. What it does is it checks if the ID exists in the other picture. The result from the images are stored in this two variable. What this for loop does, it checks if the ID exists in the other list, and if it doesn't, it will say that the ID is not in the name of the class. We shouldn't be doing this in Python because this functionality is already provided to us by Python by using the data structure called sets. So let's change this code. So I just converted the result to sets and then use the set difference function to get the difference between the two sets and simplify the code. We should do this also to the other one. Now if we run this should still work. Okay, still works. Another thing here is we should make a function for this one so that we don't duplicate our code. Here's the function now. We can now remove this and just call the function that we made. Still working. And now I want to turn this to a mobile application because I wanted to learn how to make Android app using the Android Studio. So let's learn Android Studio first. Activity life cycle. Okay, let's finally open Android Studio. Beautiful, beautiful. This is actually my first time opening Android Studio and now I have to download. Okay. And it's downloading. Let's start a new project. empty. Hey guys, so it took time to install these dependencies for Android Studio, and we can now finally start with the project. So I already made a simple app here, just a hello world text and a button. And let's run this on the device. Let me connect this first. Charge the Let's select this device and let's run this. Gonna run. Okay, it's no here. Okay, and if you press this button, what's gonna happen is this. Okay. Shout out kay Percival Darila. Mabait yan guys. Napaka-realistic. Okay, let's start working with the real project. I'm actually finding a wrapper of Bytessera for Android. Because if you can remember, the the Tesseract we use for Python is called Bytessera because it is a wrapper for Python. Tesseract is actually trained using machine learning to recognize different texts of different languages. So we actually need to download the trained data for a specific language that we want to support in our app. So we have the list of trained data here for Tesseract. We have here AFR, which is I think Africa. Let's search for English here. We have English here. ENG. Let's search for Filipino or maybe Tagalog. Here it is. TGL is actually for Tagalog. So we need to download this so that the app will support Tagalog. I'm actually gonna use this wrapper for the Tesseract. This is from GitHub and it's called Test2 by Alex Con. I have now added this to our project dependency like this. These are the updated list of trained models and as you can see we now have Filipino trained data and also we have Tagalog here. As we all know the reason, as we all know that Filipino was called Tagalog in the past. That's why we have Tagalog and Filipino here now. It's already 11:20 p.m. guys. Hindi ko alam kung ano nangyayari. I don't know what's happening. Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while. I'm now finally able to run the camera from the device. Now let me show it to you using my device again, my pretty device. The design on the back. Yeah, it's beautiful. Mm. That's made by her. Yeah. Meet Laylay. Laylay Kung.
Please subscribe.
Meet Laylay Kung. Welcome back to my screen. Let's connect the phone. Okay, the application is running now. We have two buttons here. Take a picture and choose from gallery. So if you click take a picture, show the camera. Yeah, see my pretty face. Yeah. Okay. Now if you capture. Ooh. Nice. Now if you go ahead in internal storage and Android data and look for the package name com, set that simple image to text, files, pictures. You can see the image here already. So what we are going to do next is to pass this image to Bytessera and process the image to get the text from the image. Okay, let's do that. So I'm finally able to have an output after you take a picture, but it looks weird as you can see on the screen. So I went back and check the wrapper that I use. This is actually a fork, as you can see here. So I've noticed that this fork is actually 2 commits behind the original repository. The last update of this original repository was 10 months ago, and the one I use is updated 13 months ago. So I guess I'm gonna use this original repository. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this one and change it. Okay, 11 p.m. Gotta finish my assignment in software engineering. I removed the feature on my app where you can use the camera to capture an image and scan the text on it, because it produces weird outputs. But I will work on it and publish an update on the app later on. Hey guys, I want to give you an overview of the basics of Android development, so that if you want to learn Android development yourself, you will have an idea of where to start. The first thing that you would want to look at is the Android development documentation. You have to read the documentations of the things you want to learn, not just in Android development, but also when you are working with other technologies. So if you go ahead to developer.android.com/docs, here you can read how you can start building your Android app. So what are activities in Android? You can read the documentation here, but in simplest form, activities are the different screens that you see when you are using an Android app. And you would also need to study about the activity lifecycle. These callbacks are fired while you are using your app. For example, this onCreate method, you must implement this callback. It is fired when the system creates the activity. There are 6 more callbacks here, but this onResume callback is called whenever, for example, when you minimize your app and when you go back to your app again, this onResume callback will be fired. Also, you have onStop callback. This will be called when the activity is no longer visible to the user. OnDestroy callback is fired before the activity is destroyed or closed. The next thing that you need to know is app permissions. For example, when your app needs to access the camera, you should first ask permission from the user. One important point here is that on Android 6.0 and higher, you need to ask permission every time you need to access specific API. But on Android lower than 6.0, they will be accepted during the installation. This will lead to API levels. Every Android version has a corresponding API level, as you can see here on the screen. As API level goes higher and higher, there are more features that are added. And sometimes they change the way of doing things. So you need to take note of this if you are going to Android development. Before you dive into Android development, I advise you to be comfortable with Java object-oriented programming first, especially classes, inheritance, interfaces, and anonymous classes. Anyway, this is my first time making an Android app using Android Studio, but this is actually my second Android app. On my first Android app, I didn't use Android Studio or Java because it is a hybrid application. If you want to know more about my first Android app, be sure to subscribe. I will talk about it on a later video. I will publish this app to the Play Store just like my first app. If you want to learn how to put Google Ads on your Android application, I will teach you on my later video, together with how to publish them on Play Store. Ngayon naman ay sasagutin ko ang mga tanong sa comments ng aking Facebook post. Ang unang tanong dito is from Maria Julina Piñon. Shoutout sa'yo. Sino or ano nag-push sa'yo para aralin ang programming? Well, actually nung junior high school ako is nag-aral akong mag-hack ng laro. Yun yung una kong natutunan na medyo related sa programming. Kaya nung senior high, pinili ko yung ICT sa TIG-L. And doon ko nakilala yung teacher ko na si Sir Gab. Siya yung nag-challenge sa akin na aralin yung programming. Siyempre, hindi mawawala yung nasa isip natin na mag-aaral tayo ng programming kasi gusto nating mag-hack. Mag-hack na Facebook account, gano'n. Pero hindi ko pinupursue yung pag-hack. Susunod na tanong dito is from Sheena Televelio. Anong may a-advise mo sa mga taong willing pag-aralan ang programming pero napanghihinaan ng loob? Ganito yan guys. Isipin mo yung why mo. Yung bakit mo. Bakit mo to ginagawa? Bakit ka ba pumasok sa course na to or sa programming? Ano ba yung pangarap mo? Bakit mo ba gustong makapagtapos mag-aral? So kapag napanghihinaan ka ng loob, isipin mo yung pangarap mo. Isipin mo, bakit ka ba nag-aaral? Kasi gusto mo matulungan yung parents mo kasi mahirap lang kayo. Pag naalala mo yan, yung will mo na matuto is mabubuo ulit. Isipin mo, gusto mong magkaroon ng magandang buhay sa future kapag may pamilya ka na. Siyempre ayaw mong iparanas sa kanila yung hirap na naranasan mo, gano'n. Ang last na tanong dito is from Rosalie. Paano ka nagsimulang matuto sa mga programming language? May dati ka bang background knowledge about programming or about sa course natin? Plano mo na bang mag-com-sci simula ka lang? Well, sinabi ko na kanina yung background ko. So, paano ko nagsimulang matuto sa mga programming languages? Advice ko lang guys ha, hindi mahalaga kung madami kang alam na programming language. Kasi mas mahalaga yung kaya mong i-apply yung skills mo kapag kailangan. Kasi kapag master mo muna ang isang language, pag lilipat ka na sa ibang language, madali mo na lang silang matututunan kasi alam mo na yung mga concepts. Tapos yung sa background knowledge ko about programming, is actually grade 12 ako nagsimula na matuto ng programming. Sabi ko nga kanina, yung teacher ko, C++ ang una kong natutunang language. Ginawa ko kasi noon is pinag-aralan ko yung basics, yung data types, variables, loops, for loop, do while loop, switch statement, if else. Tapos nung natutunan ko yung mga basics na yan, nag-move ako sa arrays. Nung natutunan ko na kung paano gamitin ng arrays, at paano siya gamitin sa loop, challenge ako ng teacher ko na sumali sa NOI, sa competition ng NOI online. NOI is National Olympiad Informatics. That was year 2018 nung yung contest na yun, sinalihan ko. Pero bago yung contest na yun is nagpa-practice ako ng nagpa-practice. Binibigyan din kami ng mga problems nung teacher namin. And then sinuggest niya yung hackerrank.com. Doon ako nag-practice. Ang dami akong natutunan doon. Kaya sinasuggest ko din sa inyo na mag-aral kayo sa mga websites na gano'n. Nahirapan talaga ako dun sa contest nun. Kasi involved ang math dun. Yung mga formulas, dapat magaling ka sa math. So, luckily, naka-answer din ako ng 2 questions. Yung 2 pinakamadadali. So, meron akong 200 points. Ang makakapasok dun sa elimination round kasi is top 30 sa leaderboards. Yung score nung number 30 sa leaderboards noon is 425. So, hindi ko nahabol kasi 200 lang yung sa akin. So, yun lang yung background ko. Plano mo na bang mag-com-sci simula ko lang? Well, hindi ko planong mag-com-sci. Ang plano ko talaga is mag-IT or computer engineering. Yun yung 2 priority ko noon. Pero pang 3rd priority ko yung com-sci. Hanggang sa nung nag-enroll ako, isin-explain sa akin kung ano yung pinagkaiba ng IT saka com-sci. Kaya pinili ko yung com-sci. So yun lang guys, wala naman ng ibang tanong dito. So out na ako guys.
We rise up from the